Unless your name is Slim Shady, you are not allowed to start your pitch with "my name is" in the Pitchfreaks community. Hey, startup founders and investors, let me show you how the sausage is made in terms of crafting a pitch that gets instant interest and engagement. On today's call, I'm going to give you the mindset, I'm going to give you the framework, I'm going to give you the process on how to articulate your value from your prospect's perspective. It's the foundation to your value proposition. On today's call, not only going to get that, you're going to see a live training with myself, the Pitchfreak, Antonio White, and a live SaaS founder. You're going to see how to shift your mindset, shift your words, shift your approach to get the instant interest and engagement that your business deserves here. You're going to see a pitch transform in front of your ears and eyeballs so that you understand how this can work for you. It's only here in the Pitchfreaks community on Clubhouse and on YouTube. Enjoy. 90% of your job happens before you open your mouth when you're pitching. 90%. 90% of your effort in pitching comes before you open your mouth. It's all in the preparation. You're prepared in knowing, are you talking to the right customer, the right prospect? Are they qualified? Do they have the specific urgent and pressing need that your service, product, or offering can help them to resolve? Do they have authority, ability, and interest to engage you if you're able to demonstrate you're able to resolve the challenge that faces them? You need to know all of that before you talk to somebody. Otherwise, you're having random conversation after random conversation, hoping at some point to hit the lotto. Pitchfreaks focuses on qualified prospects because guess what? It's already tough enough to pitch a qualified prospect. Why are we spending time pitching people who aren't qualified? Why are we spending time pitching people who aren't buyers, aren't in the market? No way going to be in the market. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of their time. But we're taught by social media. We're taught by advertisers. We're taught by people promote and do events and offer some types of software applications and proximity to power events and what have you, that it's just a numbers game. This is the difference between sales and marketing, you guys. And by the way, as soon as you start thinking about selling something, you're beginning to think about marketing. And so it's important, if you are thinking about marketing, that you're thinking about marketing in the right way, because the old days of marketers who don't have to get results, real financial results, they can get artificial results, vanity metrics. Look at all the people that download our software program. Look at all the people who like their social media posts. Look at all the people here who signed up for our upcoming webinar. I'm not saying those aren't important metrics, but those aren't metrics that can sustain the organization. Those aren't metrics that can pay the bills, pay the leases, pay the employee, pay the staff, right? Sales can't survive on those metrics. You need to generate revenue. You need to make money. You need to get that dollar. And in the Pitchfreaks community, we're here to support you. We're all about helping you get that dollar. And my whole job for you is to make your pitch more engaging and help you get instant interest and engagement. Instant interest is not 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds. Instant interest and engagement, the first words coming out of your mouth is starting to get people interested. And "are you" should be those first two words. Look, you don't have to use the Pitchfreaks approach religiously every single time, every single way, but I challenge you, only switch it up if you've come up with something that's more effective, that closes more deals, gets more engagement. And until you do that, apply this approach, apply this framework. Begin your pitches with "are you," not "my name is." So unless your name is Slim Shady, you are not allowed to start your pitch with "my name is" in the Pitchfreaks community. Your job is to connect with somebody else from their point of view. Your job is to come from a service mindset, not a transaction mindset. Your job is to be of help, of service, supporting people in overcoming challenges. Isn't that what you want from your vendors and from the people that serve you? To give you a great experience, to make your life a little easier, to bring you a little bit of relief, a little bit of joy? By the way, we're going to do a deep dive in that tomorrow. On tomorrow's call, we will walk you through the process of connecting emotionally through a joy or relief statement. Look, you have no business spending a penny on branding, on design, on marketing until you're able to answer this question. And by the way, lots of people spend money all the time without answering this question, and they lose money. They spend more money than they need to acquire a customer. Customer acquisition cost, CAC, CAC. It is how so many SaaS applications are evaluated. If you have increased customer acquisition cost, your business can be threatened. And for so long, things were cheap, things were easy, interest was low. Now that the whole world has changed, it's more expensive to acquire a customer. So wouldn't it be a great idea if you had a new approach designed to help lower your customer acquisition costs. Well, how do you do that? You get in front of customers for less money. You increase the engagement of those qualified customers to greater degrees, and you convert more of those qualified customers to actual customers, prospects to customers. And you do that through a value-rich series of conversations. Hi, Louis. Great to have you with us here in the Pitchfreaks house on Clubhouse here. What are you working on?
Okay. Good day, everyone. My name is Louis Ikediashe, and I'm the co-founder of Probe Compliance Africa. We're a compliance technology company who are solving the compliance issues down here in Africa. So primarily what we do is we offer adverse media, sanction screening, and PEP identification, as well as transaction monitoring, where we solve the solutions with regards to compliance down here in Africa. Also, we do things like KYC searches as well. So we help people or businesses who are looking to do business with enterprises or individuals in Africa to do background checks. You can do your compliance checks on the businesses that you're working with down here in Africa. And you can be sure that if you do your checks through our company, you can be sure that you'll be able to verify who you're dealing with perfectly. Thank you.
This is fantastic. So Louis, the major challenge that you resolve is helping people create. There's an issue with the quality of compliance checks, apparently, which has caused you to start a business to create a higher quality, a higher level of validation in compliance checks. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. So we're building trust for businesses and individuals down here in Africa because trust has been an issue. So it's something that we're looking to improve the compliance frameworks down here in Africa, especially. So, for example, some months back, countries like Nigeria and South Africa were sanctioned by FATF, where they were degraded based on issues surrounding compliance. So that's where our technology comes in. We work with the finance frameworks down here in Africa to improve their compliance framework so that they can trade globally, and be more trusted.
So you guys think, I love this business, by the way. And by the way, my specialty is in B2B. My specialty is in business to business marketing. And so I'm not a know-it-all. I'm a know-it-some, right? And the area that I love most to focus on my marketing is business to business, because business to business is dealing with data that is verifiable, measurable, and tangible. So much of consumer-focused marketing is subjective, right? And hard to measure, right? You can measure sales, of course, and do all these things. You can do all kinds of things here, but I love businesses like Louis' business. And so Louis, tell me a little bit about this compliance matter. What is it that you could have done that would have prevented these organizations from getting hit from these sanctions or challenges that they face as a result of not having proper compliance? What could you have done to solve that problem so they wouldn't have had that result, that negative result?
Okay, so you have the global sanctions and database lists, but what you find is that in Africa, our local sanctions lists and database lists are not properly organized, and businesses who are looking into coming to Africa, yes, you can do your checks from there, right? But where we coming is that we give you the local information down here in Africa. So you could have your global sanctions lists, your global adverse media checks. Yes, we give you that and more. Plus, we give you with AI. But we then go ahead and give you the information that you're not getting at the global level. So we go ahead and give you that local database from, for example, in Nigeria, you're talking about the financial frameworks here. So there are organizations like what they call the EFCC, which is the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. We get you in-depth information from there. The ICPC, the NDLEA, which deals with the drug dealers and all that. So we get you that data that you don't readily get, you understand, when you're dealing with entities down here in Africa. So we go that extra mile, you understand, to ensure that whoever is using our services is getting data that is not readily available.
Fantastic. So you provide the most comprehensive, timely database of people who you shouldn't be doing work with, right? Essentially, people who you should not be conducting business with, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we also give you information on politically exposed people. So, like you may know, you understand the issue of politically exposed people has become a major issue in the global financial space. So, in Africa, a lot of politically exposed people have been known to launder money. So we have a very comprehensive database, and we're continually building a comprehensive database of politically exposed people down here in Africa. You understand? So there's the kind of database we have. There's nothing like that right now.
Gotcha. So
Based
Louis,
on
let me help you for
yeah.
a moment. So Louis, I'm gonna walk you through a quick exercise. First of all, it's very clear. Obviously, you know what you're talking about. From my perspective here, you're the expert in this area. And by the way, this applies to everybody. People often think, how can you be able to work with so many different kind of businesses, Pitchfreak? And the answer is because I have one framework that applies to everybody. You put in the variables of your business. It works because we collaborate, we work together, not because I come in and say, do this and this and this and this. It works because I take your domain expertise, your knowledge, the thing that sets you apart from everybody else, and apply it, those variables, into the framework. And out comes a pitch that helps you to stand out and get that engagement. One of the things, Louis, that you've got going on is you've got a lot going on, right? So let me ask you a couple quick questions here. The first one would be, are you currently profitable, or are you looking to raise money, or are you bootstrapping? Give me a sense of kind of where you're at in your business right now.
We have raised money. We have done a pre-seed round, and this is actually our first year. We're in our first year now.
Congratulations.
Of revenue.
Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
You're in revenue. Fantastically done. Congratulations. Okay, we need some emojis with that here. I want to see hearts. I want to see emojis. Let us celebrate here. We've got somebody here who is in revenue. This is a big deal. I want hearts. I want flames. I want fire. I want all those good things here for Louis and his company. Congratulations, Louis, on that. We love it. We love it. We love it. That's what we got community for, right? So, of course, that's a big deal. A big deal. So Louis, what is your next objective for your business? What is the next thing that you're trying to do? Are you preparing for that next 18 months here where you're going to need another funding round? Or are you trying to get to profitability before you need that next funding round? Can you give me some insights here about what's driving the business currently?
Well, I would say that right now we are trying to make a decision. We do have our investors. In fact, our current VCs are trying to throw money at us. You understand? So they're like, look, we're ready to fund you guys. We're ready to push you guys all the way. You understand? But the thing is, the way we've set up, right? We've set up in such a way that we are on course to make profits in year one. Mm-hmm. You understand? Our business model is actually quite profitable. Yep. And the thing about it is, we have looked at some certain models where, people didn't raise money. You understand? But from all indications, based on our deliberations, we probably will be raising money again because of our expansion. So we will be raising money to expand because obviously, the way we're setting up, the US is a fantastic market for us to go into. UK market is also a very fantastic market. Mm-hmm. So yes, so we will be from all indication, we will be raising money to expand. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So, and then what kind of time frame do you think you're looking at? Is this half a year? Is this a year? Or is this 2 years? What kind of time frame are you looking at for when you want to be able to do that next round potentially?
So
if you can share,
it's going to be towards the end of the year. No, it's definitely going to be towards the end of the year because what we've done is we've identified partners that we're looking to work with in the US. Mm-hmm. We aren't rushing at all. You understand? So I mean.
Oh, I think we lost audio. Oh, there we go. Okay, we hear you now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we've already started drawing the roadmap for our movement into the US market. Mm-hmm. And we already are doing testing the waters in some specific areas in America because we do have a product that we're using to test the US and the UK markets. So that particular product is an on-demand product where entities in the US want to do background checks on demand in Africa, right? So We're just using that. So,
okay, hold on. Okay, let me just stop you for a moment. Hold on one second. So let me just walk you through a quick little thing. And by the way, welcome to Sarah Lindo. Okay. OMG, Sarah Lindo in the house. All right. So Louis, your approach with compliance, right, offers the opportunity for organizations to create a competitive advantage through compliance.
Yes.
Louis, let me repeat. You can help global organizations, American firms, UK firms have a competitive advantage through your compliance approach. Compliance is your competitive advantage. Compliance can be a competitive advantage. If I were to ask you,
Absolutely.
give me one example of how compliance can be a competitive advantage. Give me one example of how that might work.
Oh, it's immense. First of all, compliance can save you.
Just one.
It will save you. It can save you millions, billions of dollars.
Give me one example how you do it. Those are big numbers you're throwing out there. How do you do that? What's one way that you can apply compliance to be able to save millions or billions of dollars?
Investment. For example, venture capitalists looking to come into Africa to invest. You need to know your territory. You need to do deep dives into who you're investing in, their backgrounds. Things like credit checks, things like their past history, where you need those verified information. With our company, you get that information, and that information can save you millions of dollars.
Okay.
Thousands, millions.
I get the general principle behind that, of course, but there's something that you're doing specifically that allows you to be more in touch, more in engagement, more timely than your competitors who are also providing solutions for compliance, right? What makes yours stand out specifically? Do you have exclusive relationships with certain organizations? I mean, are you using AI to create these compliance? Give us some kind of insight. What makes your compliance better than Joe Blow's compliance?
Okay, so
one example.
Okay, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Now, when we came into this space, right, what we found out was that in this space is dominated by legacy systems, and permit me to call names. Some of the key competitors in this space, we're talking about companies like WorldCheck. You're talking about companies like Thomson Reuters. And when we, looked at these softwares that some of the big enterprises are using down here, right? They are globalized applications. So what do I mean? They're not built specifically for Africa to give the clientele down here exactly what they need. No, they're globalized. So the advantage we are giving you is that we're giving you what they are giving you plus the local content. And we have AI. We're using AI. We have a far more advanced adverse media framework that is built specifically to give compliance, users exactly what they need. Because we built our software, right, from the mindset of a compliance expert. So that's exactly the difference we're giving you.
Okay. So what I want you to think about is how you answer that question moving forward. And you did a great job, by the way, answering that question, but I want it to be more succinct, right? And think about it like this. By the way, I hope folks Louis and I are just running away with the ship here, right? Why is that? Because you don't get a Louis on this call on a regular basis, right? Louis doing a global deal, already generating revenue, understands his business, is an operator, making things happen, right? This is an exciting conversation because you get to see even folks at a high level who have raised money, who are working on global projects here, are also struggling with focus on these core 30 words, these first 3 steps of the winning pitch framework. Because listening to Louis, and Louis is doing nothing wrong. He's doing everything right. My objective for Louis is to do it righter, right? How can we get even more focus? How can it be even more precise? And there's a couple things that are going on with how Louis is making his presentation, right? Right now, I don't have anything specifically yet that I can pin on Louis to say this specific thing that you're doing helps you to stand out. You're in Pitchfreaks house on Clubhouse, by the way, also on YouTube. This call is recorded for our friends in the YouTube community here, Pitchfreaks community on YouTube. Come join us, subscribe, share these highlights. We have highlights from these calls on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on YouTube here. We're spreading the Pitchfreaks word to support all of you who are looking to get an edge, an advantage every time that you pitch. And this is what we want to do for Louis today. So go to Pitchfreaks on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/@Pitchfreaks and join the Pitchfreaks community. Make sure that you subscribe to the Pitchfreaks community here. If you're new to the call, I want you to win, and I wrote an executive summary from my book, Close with Your Open, the Pitchfreaks Guide to 10-Second Pitches that Sell, and I updated and revised it based upon my experience here on Clubhouse to support you on how to pass the pitch freak. Not just the Pitchfreaks 10-Second Pitch Challenge that we do on this call in this room, but when you pass the pitch freak, it means that you're going to get instant interest and engagement. I guarantee you're going to get instant interest and engagement from a qualified prospect. This is designed to help you win. This approach is designed to make the most of your time by getting you focused on what matters most. Your job in the Pitchfreaks community is the exact opposite of a public speaker. It's the exact opposite of all these sales folks and sales gurus that say, just keep talking, keep them talking, keep them talking. No. That's not how we do in the Pitchfreaks community. The way we do in the Pitchfreaks community is surgical, specific, precise, focused. 10 seconds, you're in, and then you stop talking and figure out if there is a connection or not. How do we do in the Pitchfreaks community? We call it the De Niro nod. Everybody knows the actor Robert De Niro. Like, nods his head a little bit, little kind of the. If you saw me on YouTube, you know what the De Niro nod looks like. There's a few De Niro nods. He was like, a little bit. That's the De Niro nod. That's what you're looking for. It is an involuntary physical reaction that you can even sense when you're talking to somebody over the phone. You don't have to see them to know if they're engaged or not. You can feel it if you are connecting with your customer. If you have intention to serve them and to do well by them, you can feel that connection over the phone. You can feel that connection on Clubhouse. Certainly, you can feel that connection on Zoom and in real life, right? So our job here is to help you laser focus, be precise, and then stop talking. One of the biggest challenges that people have. I should just write a book, the biggest thing, the most important thing, because there's a whole list of them. There's no one thing that's more important than the rest other than one thing: you need a customer. That is the number one thing. If you don't have that, nothing else works, right? I don't care how great your Pitchfreak pitch is. You can't pass a Pitchfreak without a customer. An understanding of a customer challenge. Look, the challenge for all of you is specializing, not trying to be everything to everybody. And Louis, for you, even a global organization can focus and be precise and dominate a single space, dominate a slice of the market. And so, Louis, what I wanted you to do, and what I want everybody to do, and we'll bring up Louis here to have this conversation, is I want you to think, Louis, if you can, what is the most lucrative slice of the market, from your opinion, of the people that have the most urgent and pressing need, the most urgent and pressing need, not an urgent and pressing need, not an urgent need, not a need, like the most urgent, the most serious, urgent and pressing need for what you have to offer. Who would you say that applies to the most in your market?
The banks, fintechs.
Great, perfect. All right. So, and would that be a big gap between their urgent and pressing need and everybody else, or is it just a little bit more than everybody else? Do you have a lot more
It's a
need?
bit more.
It's a bit more. Okay, great. And would you say that group would have the wherewithal to afford your services and can pay you a premium for a fantastic result?
Yes.
Great. And if you could have all of the banks that you wish, the lucrative banks as you wish, if that could be your only customer, would that be a wildly, I don't know the answer to this, I'm just asking, would that be a wildly successful business? If you had 25% of the banks in the world subscribing to your system, would that be a wildly successful business or a marginally successful business in your opinion?
If I have 5%, it would be a wildly successful.
5% would be wildly successful?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's what I'm aiming for. I'm just telling you.
Wait. So, but here's my point. Here's my
big
point.
is it?
Here's my point. Here's my point. Those banks are probably being served by these giant organizations that you just mentioned, right?
Some of them.
Okay. So if you focus specifically on banks, just for the sake of this discussion, right? Give me 2 additional markets that you would consider. I think you mentioned venture capital firms. What would be another one?
Insurance firms.
Okay, great. Let's just stop there. Let's just stop there. So,
and legal.
Was that? What was the last one?
Insurance and legal.
Okay,
legal
so,
firms.
okay, all right. So banks, insurance, and legal firms, right? And if you had to pick that you could only have one type of customer between those 3, you would pick the banks, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And is there any doubt that you'd pick the banks? You do it over and over again every single day of the week.
Yes.
They're the most profitable, the most lucrative, right? The best possible customer. Would
Yes,
you
because
agree?
they do higher volume of transactions, and I get more money from the more transactions you do.
Great. Okay. So, Louis, what I would guide you to do, as I would guide any paying customer, any paying client, is I would guide you to dominate that space and do everything that you can to be able to focus exclusively on being the very best at what you do for the banks. So good, for that matter, that nobody could reasonably compete with you. You come in and you dominate the space. And here's why I would suggest you do this. Because if you think that getting 5% of that market would make you wildly successful, it's going to take all of your effort and concentration and support to get to that 5% of the market. And you can't be spending time with markets that don't have the same urgent and pressing need, that don't have the same access to capital, that don't have the same appreciation of what you can do, that don't have the same writing, danger of things not being in compliance and costing folks money. The regulatory issues of the banks are probably, lots of regulatory issues here with insurance too, but the banks, incredible levels of regulatory matters, right? And so for the sake of discussion, and I don't want you to agree with me, I just want you to go down this road with me for just a moment. If you were to focus your efforts exclusively on doing what you do with the mindset of dominating the banking segment of the market, what's the one thing that you would want to share with a prospective customer in a bank that might want to work with you? What's the one thing you would want them to know that's going to help them make money, be more competitive, increase profits or revenues? What's that one thing that you're going to have them do that you can do? What's the one thing you're going to share with them that you can do, you can deliver for them?
The one thing that we can deliver for them in Africa is better data.
Okay, let's stop right there. Okay, so I get it. Here's the challenge for you now, Louis. I'll give you another challenge. So for challenge number one, let's focus on banks. That's where the money is. That's where you want to be. That's if you got 5% of the market here, you'd be wildly successful. If you came to me in the office here and you did a $10,000 day with the Pitchfreak, we'd probably end up with that, Louis, as the objective. Next objective that we would have to knock out while we're here, and we'd have plenty of time to do it. The next objective that we'd be knocking out is what? We got to be more specific on how we give evidence and support that data. It's not just better data. Anybody can use the words better data. You have to prove it. You have to give evidence. You have to support it somehow. You need a process, a way that makes people feel comfortable that, oh my gosh, you've got a different way of acquiring data that nobody else is doing. You got to be able to compare and contrast how you're doing compared to everybody else.
Our clients are actually seeing it, because the reason why I'm saying this is because we know what they're using and we know what's available to them. So when they come onto it, when we do our demos, they acknowledge it by themselves. They're like, "Wow, there's hardly any demo."
Tell me what they acknowledge, if you can share it. And by the way, I don't want to put you in a spot where you're giving away information that you don't want to be sharing or made public here. So I'm understanding that. But if you can, I want to help you, right? What is the information that they point out every single time or often to say, wow, we're not getting this from XYZ company?
So first and foremost, one of the major things they're getting from us is they're getting all the data they need in one place. Two, they're getting more data than they get from what they're using. And when I mean more data, I'm talking about access to local law enforcement databases, right? Because we go to get that data for them and we organize it and we present it. So the speed at which they're able to get data that is not accessible to them before just amazes them. That's the main difference.
Okay, so a couple things I just want you to write down, right? Compliance, success in compliance, leveraging compliance as a competitive advantage requires at least two things. One is speed, or one is access, and the other is speed, right?
Yes.
You need access and you need speed, right? And you need to start talking about your access and you need to start talking about your speed. You didn't mention that at all in these initial conversations so far with that level of simplicity, right? To be competitive in compliance, to use compliance as a competitive advantage, it requires that you have two key requirements. Two. One is access and two is speed. Nobody has more access to the organizations here who organize this information, who develop this information than we do. And nobody can get access to that data and deliver it to you faster than this because of this, this, and this, right? And so if you're a bank, you need access and you need speed to make sure that you are in compliance and you don't blow it. Our organization, blah, 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 you get the general idea of what we're talking about here, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
what I've just done here is we're walking through this process with you. Hopefully you feel like this conversation is a lot easier to have with folks, because you don't need to get into the deep dive of the technology until after you get that initial interest, right? You're going to accelerate your levels of engagement with people if you start talking like I am with you right now, right? I want you to talk to banks, and I want you to talk about how banks can drive competitive advantage by leveraging your system. And your system works because you generate a better data set specifically for two reasons: better access and faster speed to data. And those are the requirements here for being successful in compliance. You cannot afford to miss in these compliance matters. It can quite cost, as you said, cost you millions or billions of dollars, right? So you need access and you need speed. You need to demonstrate how you're uniquely positioned with broad levels of access, more access than anybody else. You need to explain how you deliver that access fast through the various technical and manual vehicles that you use, that process that you use, that workflow that you use to get there. That's not going to require a lot of thinking on behalf of your customer if you do it right. So we have to go. I could talk to you literally all day, Louis, on this, because you're so fascinating. You're doing a great business. I want to just say how congratulations to you. If you come back tomorrow, you can come back as many times as you like. We'll come right back up here and support you and serve you on the call, because that's what we do in the Pitchfreaks community. If you're listening to us if you're watching us on Clubhouse, on YouTube or TikTok or LinkedIn here, this is what we do. Louis came on the call. He was in the audience. He was invited up here. You heard about his business, and you also heard the approach that I would take with him to help him consolidate his focus with laser levels of focus on the market with the most urgent and pressing need, and that had the most lucrative opportunities for him. Louis, I'm going to give you an opportunity here. We're going to go 5 extra minutes on this call. 5 extra minutes on this call. Louis, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Is this a compelling idea? Did you get value from today's call? And if so, what?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, you gave me a lot of value on how to go direct to the most important aspects of our business.
And for you get to dream whatever dream you want to dream. You don't have to dream other people's dreams. You get to dream your dream. And if your dream is to dominate the banking space, why can't, and it's a good market by your own definition, with the most urgent and pressing need, why can't you be the go-to solution for banking and go after that 5% or maybe 10%? Look, if you're putting your effort, your heart and soul into your business, why not go for it? Why not go big, right? And every time that you go into a different segment, right, your message becomes weak. And when your message gets weaker because you lack the focus of solving a specific area for a particular segment, when you lack that focus, it's more expensive for you to sell. It takes longer to sell. But when you come in with the approach that I'm suggesting, go after the segment of the slice of a slice of a slice that has the most urgent and pressing need and can afford and is happy to pay you whatever you want to charge to get the job done, right? With quality and integrity, right? Why would you want to work anywhere else? Until you get all of them, and then you have to expand into the next segment, right? But you're not going to last that long. You're going to do so well in this segment here, you're going to get somebody to buy you out, or you already said so. If you're wildly successful in this space, so why not just go in and dominate that space? You can't dominate more than one slice of a slice of a slice. You can't do it. You don't have enough money. You don't have enough time. You don't have people. You don't have enough notoriety. You don't have enough, celebrity. You don't have enough yet. So, but you'll get it later. You'll get it soon enough. You can be the go-to star in your space, in compliance for banking in Africa with this approach here. And come back tomorrow and we'll walk you through how to make that emotional connection. Come back on Wednesday. We'll walk you through how to offer an invitation. There's so many things that we can do for you, Louis, in the Pitchfreaks community here to help you through this process, to make your pitch more effective, to give you the most advantage and to stack the deck in your favor every single time that you make a pitch. helping you qualify your prospect. Today's job is to find the prospect and to qualify the prospect. Louis gave me 3 different potential prospects here. We narrowed it down to one of them. Everybody on this call can do the same thing. If Louis can do it, why can't you do it? He just made a choice right now. It's an informed choice, but so can you. Everybody can make a choice to focus their efforts for a specific slice of a market. I teach high school kids each year at National History Day and Civic Summit, where I teach them how to pitch. Mastering their pitch introduction, I teach high school kids to do this, and they can do it. In a 90-minute session, they can figure out how to do it. So can we. So can we. And so, Louis, I want to thank you for being on this call. I want to thank you for coming up on stage and sharing your business with us and collaborating on this idea. Is there anything that you'd like to share with the community or yourself about a takeaway from your perspective of being on the call today?
No, I'm very happy, to have heard this, and I think that even the last time that I was here, it was the same thing. Very impressive. The way you get us to, get that razor focus, because actually last time I was here, you spoke about that razor focus, and I spoke about it with my colleagues, and I think you're absolutely spot on, and I'm really glad that I came up today.
Oh, we're so glad that you came today as well. Thank you so much, Louis, for that. We're looking forward to seeing you again soon. Remember, you come back anytime. We'd love to walk you through the whole step of this framework for you, as we do for anybody who wants to come join us live on Clubhouse. Thank you so much for joining us here. If you're on YouTube and you like these videos, like, subscribe, and share. I don't care what order that you do it, as long as you do it. Come join us tomorrow on Pitchfreaks Call, day 2 of our 3-day challenge, where we're walking through the process of connecting emotionally through a joy or relief statement. We look forward to seeing you then.